सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। Okay, let us chant from the first onwards. Shri Bhagavanuvāca
Shri Bhagavanuvāca
idam tu te guhyatamam
idam tume tude guhyatamam pravakshyamyanasuyave
gnanam vijnana
sahitam
yat jnatva mokshase shubhat rajavidya rajaguhyam pavitramidamuttamam pratyakshaavagamam dharmyam susukham kartumavyayam asraddhadana purushaha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapya mam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani maya tadamidam sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina mattani sarvabhutani nachaham teshvavastitah nacha masthani bhutani pashyame yogamaishwaram bhuta bhinna cha bhutastha mamatma bhuta bhavanaha yathakashasthito nityam vayus sarvatra go mahan tatha sarvani bhutani matsthani tyupadharaya So we had started shloka number 6. So in 4 and 5, certain important aspects of Bhagavan, Ishvara, has been expressed. Maya tatam idam. Tatam means vyaptam. Vyaptam means sarvagatatvam. Sarvagatam means all pervasive. I pervade the entire world. Then what? Jagad avyakta murtina. I am unmanifest. Means I don't have a form. Consciousness does not have a form. And then matstani sarva bhutani nachaham teshvavastitaha. I am the adhishtanam of everything. Matsthani means Mayi Tishtani, Mayi Sthitani, Sarvam Bhutani, Sarvani Bhutani. In me, the entire, all beings exist. That is the meaning there. So I am the Adhyara, I am the Adhyara, I am the Adhishtanam, I am the basis, I am the support, I am the content of everything in this world. Okay. Then Nacha Matsthani Bhutani. Nachamatstani Bhuta. So, despite me being in everything, or despite everything being in me, Nachamatstani. No, I don't. Beings are not in me. Beings are me, they are supported by me, but then beings are not in me. We saw why that is, right? And Pashchime Yoga Maiswaram. So we saw that. We said that that is because Jagat is Mithya. Mithya pot. Mithya pot. Bhagavan cannot say, I am there in a Mithya pot. Okay. Satyam cannot be in a Mithya pot. Satyam is there. Mithya is Satyam, but Satyam is not Mithya. Okay. Mithya is Satyam. In the sense, pot is clay. Clay is not pot. And so you can't say that Bhagavan is in all beings, even though that is how we understand our dharma as while growing up. Bhagavan is everywhere. That is correct. Bhagavan is in me. Okay, that is a good start. Excellent start. Okay. And then what? And then in me means what? I am staying separate from Bhagavan and then Bhagavan has entered me. No, that is not possible. Therefore, nacha matsthani. So every part of the world is pervaded by Bhagavan. And so two orders of reality. We saw that, right? Mithya and Satyam are two orders of reality. And therefore, Bhagavan being Satyam cannot be in Mithya because they are two different orders of reality. Okay. Therefore, very important statements. Nacha Matsthani Bhutani. Then Bhuta Brinnacha Bhutastaha Mama Atma Bhuta Bhavanaha. Then he explains here. He says, I am the one who Srishti Karta, Sthiti Karta. And then within brackets, Laya Karta also. Earlier he said this. Okay. He said this somewhere. Okay. Shloka number, if you go back to 7th shloka, 7th chapter. Yeah. So if you look at 7th chapter, shloka number 6. Okay. Etad yonini bhutani sarvani tyupadharaya. Etad yonini bhutani. So he says, all the beings exist in me. I am the yoni of all the beings. I am the source of all the beings. I am the creator of all beings. Okay, we saw that before, 7th chapter. And then next line, Aham Krishnasya Jagataha Prabhavah Pralayasthatha. Prabhavaha. So I am the one who sustains the entire creation. Krishnasya Jagata. Correct? Krishnasya Jagata. Of the entire world, I am the sustainer and also I am the Pralaya. I am the resolver of the entire creation. He's already introduced that concept there in 7th chapter. So in 8th chapter, 9th also, he does the same thing. Bhuta brinnacha bhutastaha. Bhuta brit, I am the sustainer, he says. Nacha bhutastaha. I am not in Bhutani. I am not in the world, he says. I am the world. I am not in the world. Correct? See the difference? If water says I am in the ocean, it can have two meanings. I am in the ocean means you think ocean exists. Okay, I am in the ocean. But then you have to understand that ocean itself is all water. Where is ocean? Ocean is just Nama Rupa. Therefore, I am not in the ocean. I am the only thing that is there. Water is the only thing that is there. So where is the question of water being in ocean? Okay, that is the idea there. Nacha bhutastaha. Then we saw Shloka number 6. Example. He's giving an example and he's giving another idea here. Asangatvam. I am everywhere, but how involved I am in all these things? He says, just like space is unaffected, untainted by air, by Vayu, by the gases that are there in Akasha. And gases carry all kinds of odors and all kinds of impurities and purities also. Pure stuff and impure stuff, everything goes on. And so I am unaffected by, just like Akasha is unaffected, I am also yatha, tatha, tata sarvani bhutani matsthani iti upadharaya. So we were talking about that first line. Vayuhu sarvatra gaha maha. That's where we left off. Okay. So he explains this Vayu. And Vayu sarvatra gaha. See, his example also should be important because universe all pervasive, vast, and so the example he gives also, Akasha is a very good example for consciousness, for Satchidananda. Very good example because Akasha, space, everywhere there is space. Space has no boundaries. The minute you say space has boundary, that means we'll ask what outside that boundary, what is there? Space is not there or what? So we can't say that. Therefore, space has no boundary. And so here, Sarvatra Gaha, this Vayu, he explains as Sarvatra Gaha. Sarvatra Gaha. So once you get a word like this is Upapada Tatpurusha Samasa for the Sanskrit students. And like this Khagaha, we've seen this example before. I'm just reminding you. Khagaha. So Khag, in Hindi they say Khag. And Khe Gachati. Kha is Akasha. And then Ga means Gachati. And so Akashe Gachati iti Khagaha. So the bird is called Khagaha because it moves, Gachati, it moves in space, in Akasha, in the sky. Here Akasha is sky. Kha. Likewise, Uragaha. Uragaha in Sanskrit. Uragaha means what? Uras means stomach. Uras is stomach. Urasi Gachati. That which goes on the stomach, moves on the stomach, is a snake. So Uragaha is a snake. That's how it works. So here also, Sarvatra Gaha. Sarvatra Gachati iti Sarvatra Gaha. Vayu seems goes everywhere. Vayu has also no boundaries. Visa-less travel. No visa needed. So freely going around everywhere. Sarvatra Gaha. Mahan. Okay. Mahan. All pervasive. Okay. Then Tatha Sarvani Bhutani Matsthani Tyupadharaya. Same Matsthani. Okay. Sarvani Bhutani Matsthani. Tata. Just as this example, just as Vayu is there, just as Akasha is there everywhere, and Vayu is in Akasha without affecting Akasha, so also Matsthani, all beings are in me, which was said earlier. Sarvani Bhutani Matsthani iti Upadharaya. Upadharaya, very important word here. He doesn't say believe what I say. That's why our Shastram is not a belief system. Upadharaya. Dhru dhatu. Get it properly, understand it, make sure you see it. You don't have to believe me. He says, don't believe me. You understand what I say. No teacher in class will say, believe me. Generally, teachers, they explain, they explain what's what, and then they try their best. And then rarely a teacher will say, believe me, believe what I say. Believe what I say, you can say for something that's fantastic and too amazing, and say, believe me, I saw this rainbow, it was so big, it went all the way from here to all this, you can say, believe me, because there it is just pratyaksha, and you just believe what I saw. Believe me that I saw that. That's okay. But yahan par upadharaya, upasamipe, that means look at that. That means make sure this knowledge is yours. Don't say my Shastram is saying it, therefore it is right. That is not enough. Shastram is saying it is right, that is correct. But it is meant for us, and we are supposed to understand all these things. Iti upadharaya. Okay, so let's translate this shloka number 6. Okay, just as the vast air, comma, which goes everywhere, which goes everywhere, comma, always exists in space, always exists in space, comma, okay, similarly, comma, may you understand that, may you understand that all beings exist in me. May you understand that all beings exist in me. Just as the vast air, comma, which goes everywhere, comma, always exists in space, comma, similarly, comma, may you understand that all beings exist in me. So I mentioned asangatvam, means the akasha not being tainted by vayu, not being affected by vayu. So some commentators read that into this shloka. They read that, and so that's perfectly fine, even though the word asanga is not mentioned here. Okay, let's chant the next one. Yeah, I think Manjula ji finished, I think, last time, no? No.
I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead then. Sarvabhutani kaunteya
Sarvabhutani kaunteya
prakritim yanti mamikam
prakritim yanti mamikam
kalpakshaye punastani
kalpakshaye punastani
kalpadau visrijamyaham
kalpadau visrujamyaham
sarvabhutani kaunteya
Sarvabhutani kaunteya
prakritim yanti mamikam
prakritim yanti mamikam
kalpakshaye punastani
kalpakshaye punastani
kalpadau visrijamyaham.
कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम् धन्यवादः
So here, after giving this example in shloka number 6, in 7 and 8, he is going to talk about this creation, this srishti, how that happens, how that happens. It's amazing because Creation is a big topic, and scientists and universities and thousands of scholars are working on it. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna is saying that in two slokas. Okay, so don't expect a lot of detail, but the most important parts of this so-called creation comes out. Okay, which is what we need to know. Okay, so this idea of creation. So we have made a dramatic shift in our understanding of creation to such an extent that we cannot use the word creation anymore, right? So we are saying creation for us is srishti, manifestation, manifestation, always manifestation. So just tree seed, tree seed. And so if you see a tree got created, then you must immediately infer that this must have come from a seed. It cannot come from nothing. Tree cannot come from nothing. Okay, this idea applies even to this creation. It's amazing why scientists don't think like this. Okay, unmanifest. Okay, that's the beauty of it. I got some feedback that when I tap like this, I have this habit of tapping. I don't know where I got it. It's we don't get taught all this in school. Teacher didn't say you should tap like this and all. They didn't say all that. And neither do I know music. So I didn't learn music all that. At least musician means you can say, oh, this fellow is used to doing this. But somebody told me, two people told me this, and that this noise comes, as this Zoom, especially you're all using earphones and all that. So that part is noisy. So I got a suggestion that I should use a towel, put a towel on my lap. So today I have put a towel on my lap. I'll try my best, and I'll see how. So anyway, we were saying this creation, and science is caught up in a linear creation. Linear means what? Everything is linear. There has to be something before this, something before that. Yeah, that's all correct. All correct. And then when did creation start? When did the world begin? That is the question they ask. We will say it's a wrong question. Why will we say it's a wrong question? The question when itself implies time. If you give me time axis, then you can say in this time axis how far you go. Suppose I say time is also part of the creation. Do you want to know that creation or not? Time is given, then you can say linear and all these things. But time itself is not given, my dear friend. That is how creation is. That is how we look at creation. Time as a concept also is a created concept. Why not? And that's the beauty of it. And so time and space also part of the creation. And number one. Number two, this so-called world cannot come out of nothing. This also we are crystal clear about. Our Shastram is clear about. And so that is why you find that scientists and philosophers in India, they just go along together. A scientist is a philosopher. America also, scientists, philosophers, they are always there. Okay. If you see all these great scientists, if you look at their life history, you'll find a philosopher, writer, linguist, okay, and scientist, etc. All these words will come because the thinking is like logic. Once logic comes, and then you see the world operating, and everything is in order. Correct? For a scientist, everything is in order. And so here also, this Srishti doesn't come out of nothing. That means what? Srishti is a manifestation, and then it becomes unmanifest. Unmanifest means in a seed form. The Srishti is in seed form. And so that's why we say, Swami Paramatmananda ji would say, even God cannot create an ounce of a drop of water out of nothing. Not possible. No, but magician creates a bird out of nothing. We've seen all these things. Bird, suddenly you pull out the bird from the thing and all. Okay. So that also a sleight of hand. So we just he does things so fast and things like that. We don't see what's happening. Anyway, that's aside. But God also has to do namaskar to this magician. Oh my God, you're creating a bird out of nothing. You're an amazing guy. I didn't know I created such amazing people. God can put it on his resume. I created people who can create birds out of a piece of cloth. Even I can't do that. Like that, he can say. Okay. So, you can see in science also, every aspect of our body, etc. It's all encoded. DNA, everything is encoded. Correct? And all our the child looks like the parent. They say, oh, she looks like her, she looks like father, etc. Why? Why should this happen? Because it's all encoded. And then the child grows up. Then they make sure the child is able to hear, make sure all the child is able to see and all that. And then child is fine. Then there are some diseases that come slowly manifest in time. Came out of nothing, you can't say. Autism is there. This is so many disorders are there that people have. And then it's all, if you look at science, it's all seems to be encoded. Seems to be encoded. And so, therefore, for us, this unmanifest manifest is not a new concept at all. It's all unmanifest in the DNA as far as this body is concerned. And then it becomes manifest. Again, unmanifest. Again, manifest. So, this parampara continues. DNA parampara. And DNA is the carrier of our parampara. And so, looking, the son, the daughter, they walk. The walking is like the father or mother. Some people used to tell me, "Oh, you're exactly doing like this, like your father." I didn't notice that. I suppose I didn't notice that because we don't know how we are. So this is very common, and so for us, this idea is not new at all. And so, vyaktam avyaktam, vyaktam avyaktam. This is what creation, srishti. So we give up the word creation, and I'm surprised scientists still struggle with this. I mean, they are at loggerheads with these Abrahamic, the church all the time. But even science is not, they are still moving in this linear direction. And they're making some progress. But so that's going on the side. But so anyway, so we saw this idea in the second chapter itself, correct? Vyaktam avyaktam. Okay. So I've noted this down here. 28th shloka. Look at the 28th shloka of the second chapter. Second chapter. Okay. 28th shloka. You all have a book with you, no? So you can quickly refer. Yeah, right. So avyaktadini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata avyakta nidhananyeva tatraka paridevana. There Krishna is saying, this is right to the second chapter when he starts teaching. And tatraka paridevana. What is there to worry about this? Avyaktadini bhutani. All beings are unmanifest. And then vyakta madhyani bharata. Hey Bharata, then they become manifest. After manifest, what happens? And then avyakta nidhananyeva. Hey, then they become unmanifest afterwards. It is true with all human beings because his worry is about this human life, etc. So it happens to everything in this world, including human beings. So what is there to worry about, he says. Okay. Quietly he introduces avyaktam and vyaktam there. And then look at 8th chapter. 8th chapter, shloka number 18. Okay. Avyaktadyактaya sarvaha prabhavantyah ragame ratriagame praliyante tatraiva vyakta samyake. So we saw this in the context of this Chatur Yuga creation, etc., time and so forth, right? Daytime of Brahmaji and things like that. So there also he said that Avyaktat Vyaktaya Sarva. From being manifest, the world becomes, from being unmanifest, the world becomes manifest. And he said a little extra also, Prabhavanti Aharagame. When the day comes, when the day of Brahmaji, when Brahmaji opens his eyes, that is the time, right? Aharagame, etc. All that we saw before. Therefore, this idea of Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, we have to imbibe it. We have to understand it. And then we have to look at the world with that vision. Okay. Look at ourselves with that vision. And then relax. Okay. And so Swami Paramathanandaji says, in the waking time, the record button is on. Record button is on. So I'm recording everything, right? Recording, all experiences are being recorded. Then dream, what happens? Record button is off, play button. So play. So whatever is recorded is now played back. And like that, he gives that example. And those days we used to have this thing called VCP. Then VCR. Huge jump from VCP to VCR. Huge jump. VCP means video cassette player. You can only play. You can buy a video cassette and you can play it. That's all. Then after some time, you can even record. Say, wow, you can record. Connect it, hook it up to your television, and you can record whatever you want. And those were some days. Some of you may not know all these things. These words, these acronyms, you may not have heard. Our Raghavan, we should check with him sometime whether he's heard all these names. So he's not there here today. We'll ask him.
I have Jaykumarji.
No. Vijay Sundaram, I didn't say. Raghavan. I'm talking about Raghavan.
No, that's right. But I'm saying I have the VCR.
Oh, you have a VCR. You still have a VCR.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. You keep it for a while. Then you quietly send it to America one day, and then America, they are crazy about all these antiques, and you may get a good value for that also. Okay. They like to keep all this old stuff and then call it antique and things like that. So then, hey Kaunteya, Swamiji says, hey Kaunteya, as though Arjuna is, why do you have to keep on saying Kaunteya, hey Partha, and all that, So Krishna is worried, it seems. You know what? He has only one student. And if that one student sleeps off, dozes off, then the 100% of the students are sleeping. At least here I can see a lot of people, and some of you are smiling and all that. So I feel as though something is going there. But Krishna is not that lucky, it seems. So hey Kaunteya, yeah. And then hey Kaunteya, prakritim yanti mamikam, sarva bhutani prakritim yanti. Sarva bhutani. So Prakritim, Avyaktam here, Prakriti, Maya, Avyaktam, Avyakta Mayam Yanti. All beings, they become, they gain, they go towards Maya. They become unmanifest. Prakritim Yanti, they become unmanifest. And what kind of Prakriti? Mamikam Prakritim. My Prakriti. Apara Prakriti. My Prakriti, that Maya also depends on me. We saw that. And I am the consciousness that sustains everything. And therefore, I am the Para Prakriti. Prakritim Yanti. Mamikam Prakritim. My Prakritim. And just like the dream world is manifest, and then it becomes unmanifest. Where does it go? It disappears completely. Yeah. It looks like the dream world has disappeared. Yeah, in that world, like that situation has disappeared, correct, but not completely disappeared. It is there, very much there. The imprint is all there. All vasanas are there from the past, and so it's all there. And ready for a right situation. And then the sleep, deep sleep. First waking to deep sleep. Then from deep sleep, the situation is right. And then so Mamikam Prakritim Yanti. Okay, Sarva Bhutani Mamikam Prakritim Yanti. Just like the dream also becomes unmanifest and then becomes manifest again. Okay. So therefore, this dream is a very important example. And what is the raw material for the dream? Well, my past is the raw material for the dream. My entire past, all my vasanas, all the samskaras, Any karmas have to be exhausted. Dream is also, suppose we say I get a bad dream, then you must be happy. You know why? Why should you be happy if you get a bad dream?
Exhausting karma.
Yeah, exhausting karma. Correct. Appa. So some more karma got exhausted. So at least you can do say that and console yourself. And so that imprint is that unmanifest. And then when is this going to happen? When is it going to happen? Kalpakshaye. Kalpakshaye. This unmanifestation of this entire world, Kalpakshaye. At the end of the Kalpa, when the Kalpa is going to finish. Now you should not ask me what is Kalpa and all that. If you ask, then I'll start repeating the whole thing. The recorder will play button goes, and then I'll have to start saying Kalpa is one daytime of Brahma, and then night also is one Kalpa, therefore two Kalpas, and then Brahma is awake in one Kalpa, and one Kalpa is equal to 1,000 Chaturyugas, and one Chaturyuga is equal to this, and then 4.32 million years, all this thing. I think you know all these things. So that is called Kalpa. Kalpakshaye. When that finishes off, when the daytime is over, then Brahmaji is ready to sleep that time. So at least we can be happy. Appa. So we are nothing major is going to happen now. But this scientists, they report, meteor came very close to Earth. How many of you have seen those kinds of news? A meteor was spotted very close to Earth. Very close to Earth, meteor was there. How many kilometers? Some 5 million kilometers, 5 million miles. Or 5 lakh miles, something like that. 5 lakh miles? Very close? Yeah, obviously 5 lakh miles, when you look at the whole universe, it's very, very close. It's a near miss. Near miss. So we don't know. Anything can happen. On meteor hits, we don't know what's going to happen. And Hiroshima or many, many Hiroshimas are not what we don't know. So this Kalpakshaya, we don't know how it's going to happen. But all these things are possible. And then Punaha tani kalpadau visrijami aham. Okay, how to split it? Punaha tani. Tani means within brackets. In the previous line, what did we see? Bhutani, right? Sarva bhutani. Okay, punaha tani sarva bhutani kalpadau visrijami aham. Aham visrijami. I create. I manifest. Something is potential. There is something potential, and then the potential tree, which is called the seed, becomes the actual tree. The potential tree becomes the actual tree. Okay, and so aham visrijami. I do the srishti. I'm going to do the srishti, and punaha tani kalpakshaye. Punaha, important word punaha. Again, he says. Again. That means cyclic, right? Cyclic. Next sloka is going to say punaha, punaha is going to say. Okay, but here look at that. Punaha visrijami. Again, I will manifest. The creation will come about. That means it has happened before also. And when will I do this? Kalpadau. Kalpakshaye. Kalpakshaye prakritim yanti. Layam yanti. Prakritim yanti. Kalpadau. Adau means beginning. In the beginning of the kalpa, aham visrijami. Okay, so that's so how long was it unmanifest, if you say? Well, according to our Shastram, 1,000 Chaturyugas, right? One night of Brahmaji. That's how long it is unmanifest. And so let's translate this shloka here. O Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, all beings go to my Prakriti. All beings go to my Prakriti. At the dissolution of the cycle of creation, full stop. Again, comma, at the beginning of the cycle, comma, I create them. Again, comma, at the beginning of the cycle, comma, I create them. Full stop. Okay, let's chant the next one. Prakritim swamavashtabhya
प्रकृतिं स्वामवष्टभ्य
visrijami punah punah
विसृजामि पुनः पुनः
bhutagramamimam kritsnam
भूतग्राममिमं कृत्स्नम्
avasham prakritervashat
अवशं प्रकृतेर्वशात्
prakritim swamavashtabhya
प्रकृतिं स्वामवष्टभ्य
visrijami punah punah
विसृजामि पुनः पुनः
bhutagramamimam kritsnam
भूतग्राममिमं कृत्स्नम्
avasham prakritervashat.
अवशं प्रकृतेर्वशात्.
So continuing that statement of creation and dissolution, manifestation and unmanifestation. He is saying punaha punaha visrijami. Again, that word he is using, visrijami, same word that appeared in the previous shloka. Okay, and I will create again and again. Punaha punaha. So the most important words in this shloka are punaha punaha. Manifest, unmanifest, unmanifest, manifest. So keeps going like this. So punaha punaha. That is what differentiates our assessment of creation, our presentation of the creation model from every other Abrahamic religion. And so when did the world get created is a wrong question. Just like asking the question, if an unstoppable bullet hits an impenetrable wall, what will happen? If an unstoppable bullet hits an impenetrable wall, what happens?
It will bounce back.
Oh, it will bounce back.
Yes.
Unstoppable bullet, okay? Unstoppable bullet bounces back?
Yes, that's
I
why
didn't
it's called unstoppable.
I didn't know unstoppable bullet can bounce back. That's news to me.
It's oxymoron. It's like basically doesn't exist. It's like saying like you're half pregnant. I mean, you're either pregnant or not. It is stoppable or unstoppable.
I'm pregnant.
I mean, it can't be in between, like you're half pregnant or something like that. Like you're either pregnant or not. That's it.
So, yeah, exactly. So unstoppable bullet is unstoppable. An impenetrable wall is impenetrable. But you can't put both in the same sentence. Okay, keep them in two different sentences. You can't bring it together. Oxymoron, like she said, it's oxymoron. So either one only can be true. So therefore, some questions you have to just let go. You say, no, this is a wrong question. The wrong question, wrong statement. And so when did the world get created is a wrong statement, because that implies time and space, and which itself is a part of the creation. Therefore, Bhagavan says, that's why Bhagavan has to say, Nacha Matstani. Why? Because I am not in time and space. If I am in time and space, I am affected by time and space. Time will finish me off. God will get finished. Like this Mahabali tried to finish off Vishnu. Okay? Or Shiva, whatever that story is there. And then getting a boon from Bhagavan and then running after Bhagavan. I want to test it on you, he says. Very smart guy, you know. I want to test it on me. You know, this thing. Bhasmasura, I think his name is. And so that is, we can't, that's a wrong question. When did the world get created is a wrong question. You're welcome to research it and you can keep going back, no problem. Keep going back. And good thing is the research, people will get, PhDs will be available and grants will be available and jobs will be available. That's a good thing about it. But it won't end. That's what we're saying. And so our view is what? Cyclic. Avyaktam, vyaktam. Avyaktam, vyaktam. Avyaktam, vyaktam. Apara prakritihi, maya, srishtihi. Maya, srishtihi. Para prakriti is watching all this, okay? Apara prakritihi, maya, srishtihi. Maya, srishtihi. Maya, prapancham. Maya, prapancham. Okay? This is how it is. And therefore he says, punah, punaha. Punah, punaha. Aham punah, punaha visrijami. I create again and again. And how do I do that? Prakritim avashtabhya swam. Prakritim swam avashtabhya. I am not part of Prakriti. So Prakriti is in my hands. Okay. I don't get lost in this creation. I'm not affected by this creation. Therefore, that Prakriti, that Apara Prakriti, Maya, is very much in my hands. I'm not affected by Maya. And yet, and therefore, and allow Maya to create. And that is how it is. Swam avashtabhya. Avashtabhya means controlling, mastering. And so, the avashtabhya, swam avashtabhya. Myself controlling Maya or resorting to my Prakriti. Sometimes that's the way they translate it. Resorting to my Prakriti. A Prakriti which depends on me, but which does not affect me. I don't get transformed in the process. Prakriti decides, like Mahabali wants to do something, Bhasmasura wants to do something to Shiva. No, that won't work. Okay. So therefore, no will is there. No will. This is a very hard one to accept. You know, we grew up saying Bhagavan will take care of me, Bhagavan will do this and do that. And avatars are coming. Bhagavan says in the 4th chapter we saw Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuga. What an important statement it is for us. But that is true, but that does not mean Bhagavan has free will. Correct? Following the order, it happens. That's what he said in the 4th chapter. We should not take it to assume Bhagavan is watching all of this and these people are struggling. Tamil Nadu state in India is not doing well. These fellows are destroying my temples. It's time for me to come. No, he can't. He's not. There's no such person there. Okay. It will happen in time. Dharma rises means Dharma has to come and then take care of Adharma. Right? So that's the way to understand it. So we have to give up the childish idea of God. Okay. Childish idea of God is to be given up. And therefore, in Taittiriya Upanishad, so kamayata bahusyam praja yeti. How did Bhagavan create? There he says, so kamayata, saha akamayata. He desired, it seems. He desired to create. And then bahusyam praja yeti. May I become many. May I become many. He got bored just being consciousness. He said, I will become many. And so like that, some nice beautiful ideas given in Taittiriya Upanishad. But will cannot be there. Bhagavan cannot have will. If Bhagavan has will, then you know what will happen? Then he has to come down and meet Swamiji and talk to Swamiji. And Swamiji, I have a problem. Things are not working out the way I want. I've been failing a lot. I wanted a great world and the world is not good. I need some counseling. That is what will happen to God if God has free will. Okay. And so he will feel guilty. I'm very guilty, Swamiji, that I created this world. How can I take it back? And now yugas are there. So many yugas have to happen. Only then the world will go. And I want to, like this manufacturing companies, sometimes they recall, all these cars. They recall because some seat belt is not working properly. Danger. So they recall all cars. In America, this happens. I don't know if it happens in India or not. They just recall. You have to just take your car to the mechanic and the shop and they will fix it, do whatever and give it back to you. Massive. Billions of cars recalled. Massive. So Bhagavan has to recall everybody. So some problem, some nut loose ho gaya. Well, I created. So I have to tighten that nut. Okay. And so these problems will be there. And so then what exactly did he create? That he says, Bhuta Gramam Imam Kritsnam. Okay, Imam Kritsnam Bhuta Gramam. Okay. So how are we splitting it? Bhuta Gramam Imam Kritsnam Avasham Prakritehe Vashat. That is the way we are splitting it. Okay. So Imam Bhuta Gramam. This Bhuta Gramam we saw somewhere before. Okay. We saw it. Where did we see it?
Bhuta-grama cha evaya.
Eighth, correct, 8th shloka, 8th chapter, 19th shloka. Bhuta Gramasa evayam. Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate. So there also, Punaha. See, Bhutva, having manifested, Praliyate. Bhutva Praliyate. Okay. So there we saw Bhuta Gramaha. Gramaha. This word Gramaha, and we use village is called Grama. Village, Grama means group. Samuhaha. A group of houses is called a Gramaha. And so here Gramaha is group again. This multitude of beings, this creation, they use the word Bhuta Gramaha as to refer to that Srishti, to this cosmos. Okay. Okay, Bhuta Gramam. Imam, this Bhuta Gramam. And why is he saying Imam? Imam is fine. Imam is pulling up. So Bhuta Gramam, right? And then Kritsnam. What kind of Bhuta Gramam? Kritsnam. Did we encounter Kritsnam before? Where did we see Kritsnam?
Krishna Karmakrit.
Krishna Karmakrit. And where does Krishna Karmakrit come? Chapter 4, 18. Look up chapter 4, 18. Okay. Karmanya karmayah pashyet akarmani cha karmayah sabuddhiman manusyeshu sayuktah Krishna Karmakrit. So there, what is the meaning of Krishna Karmakrit? The one who has done Krit, all karma, all actions, everything done, Kritsnam, everything completely done. There is no such thing as something is pending. That person. Okay. Only a jnani can say that. Krishna Karma Krit. Any other places we saw Krishna?
In chapter 7, 6th sloka.
Correct.
29.
Etad yonini bhutani matsthani tyupadharaya aham kritsnasya jagataha. Okay. Prabhavav pralayastatha. We saw it just now. So kritsnasya jagataha. Kritsnam. Complete word. He doesn't have to say complete, but to remove any doubt that some portion is left out. Bhagavan's penthouse is there. That is left out. Everything else keeps changing. No, it's not like that. Everything. Okay. And then what else?
Shloka also has that, right?
Can you repeat?
7th chapter 29 shloka also has that word Kritsnamai.
29, 729. What is that? 26 to 29.
Yara marana mokshaya mamashritya yatanti.
Yeah. Te brahma tad viduh kritsnam. Adhyatmam karma chakilam. Good. 729. Anything else? Anything else?
I think first chapter also has it. I don't remember the shloka number.
Yeah, first chapter, 40. Look up 40, 140. Okay. We studied it long ago. Once upon a time we studied it. Kulakshaye pranashyanti kuladharma sanatanaha dharme nashte kulam kritsnam adharmo bhibhav vatyuta. Kritsnam kulam. Kritsnam kulam abhibhavati. Krishnam kulam, entire kula will get destroyed if dharme nashte. If dharma is destroyed, then this all family, lineage, tradition, all this gone. That is what Arjuna is claiming in that entire Krishnam. And then I wrote one more. Okay, third chapter, look up 29. Third chapter, 29. Okay. Prakrite guna sammudhaha Sajjante guna karmasu tana kritsna vido mandan kritsna vinna vichalayet. The Krishna appears 2 times there in the shloka. Correct? Tan akritsna vidaha mandan krishna vinna vichalayet. Yeah. Krishna with is the main word there. Krishna with means one who knows. One who knows what? Krishnam. One who knows everything. Yani ityarthaha. Right? Then akritsna with, there it says. So, okay. So that is Krishnam, right? So here, Bhuta Gramam Imam Krishnam, this entire creation, Avasham. Avasham Visrijami. Remember, Visrijami is the verb. I create. Okay. Avasham. Necessarily. Avasham means what? I don't have a choice here. I don't have a choice. Visrijami. Necessarily. That's the law. I am the law. I cannot violate my own law. I cannot violate myself. I am the law. And so, when Avasham means nobody has a say. Even I don't have a say in that. Okay. And then Prakritehe Vashat. And how does it happen? Prakritehe Vashat. Prakriti, all the laws are unfolding. That is the Prakriti. Maya Prakriti is there. And she is the one who is doing the job of creation and resolution. Creation and resolution. That is why we worship Devi. Devi is so important for us. Amazing, this Abrahamic religions, they don't have it. It's just mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling. And so for us, it's a very important aspect. And therefore, Swami Paramarthanandaji says, suicide is not a solution. Very sobering thought. Very sobering thought. And it appears like a good solution sometimes when things don't go well at all. Things are just going upside down. Then it's better I don't live. This is the thought people have. And so, we pray that such a situation does not arise. And but by our study, we know very well that we can't really put an end to these kinds of things. That karma has to unfold, allow it to unfold, take as much help as possible, and then come out of it. Come out of it. It can be. We can come out of any difficulty. So we have to create that kind of we have to give that kind of knowledge to our children, because children go through these problems. And suicide in Tamil Nadu also, new suicides. We are hearing 2-3 suicides recently. So this exam and this, that, etc. It's going on. So therefore, Prakritehe Vashat, no will is there, and therefore it's not random also. We don't use the word random. The word random does not appear in the Sanskrit lexicon. Why? Because nothing is random. That means I don't understand what's happening. I can accept that. I don't understand what's happening. Okay, you can say that. That does not make it random. Random in science means what? There is no law that governs that phenomenon. That is the meaning of random. I think that I'm just saying it what comes to my mind. Okay, there's no law that governs it. It just goes with. It doesn't follow any law. No, for us we don't say it doesn't follow law. So nothing is random, and therefore here. Avasham prakritehe vashat aham visrijami punaha imam bhuta gramam imam krishnam bhuta gramam prakritim swam avashtabhya. So let's translate this. Keeping my own prakriti under control, that is Swami Dayanandaji says that. Swami Paramarthanandaji says, resorting to my prakriti. Okay. So keeping my own prakriti under my control or under control, comma, again and again I create this. Again and again I create this entire group of beings necessarily. This entire group of beings necessarily. Occasionally, you may see a translation helplessly. Okay, helplessly. I don't like that word because you're saying God is helpless. It's like making a statement, God is helpless. When you say that, then how are we going to survive when you say God is helpless? So let's give some credit there. And so necessarily is, I like it because, hey, the law is already set. So even I cannot change my own laws. Okay. All right. I create this entire group of beings necessarily, comma, by the force of Prakriti. By the force of Prakriti. Paramathanandaji says, being under the control of Prakriti. Either one is fine. Keeping my own Prakriti under control, comma, again and again, I create this entire group of beings necessarily, comma, by the force of Prakriti, full stop. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thank you very much.